While Sprite and Tier Elements continue to duke it out, things like Sword Soul and Drytron are taking note of what's going on around them. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. Your Toylynx regional breakdown here is pretty straightforward here. We had 4 Sprites in Top Cut. Oh my gosh, man, like so many Sprite players. I can't fathom how many of these continue to do their thing. Now, other interesting things out of this region. We had a Drytron deck. Okay, that's pretty cool. Tier Elements, that's some basic stuff. We had a Mystic Mind Burn deck, and before you ask, no, I don't have the list. The duelist did not want to share the profile with anybody, so don't even go there. And then we also had a Madolche deck. Now, the fact that Candy Treats came out of the woodwork here and definitely shaked up the format, I think is actually really nice. I definitely am happy to see like huge little differences within the metagame here. And maybe Madolche getting 8th place doesn't shock anybody, but I think that it's really cool to see that we got some sort of success out here. Now we're going to pass on over to the top deck list for this regional. All right, the first deck we have here is very basic Sprite, but it's with a Tri-Brigade package. Now, I haven't really seen a lot of people experimenting out here with the Tri-Brigade build for this, and I definitely think it's kind of been forgotten in the whole void of the format here where, you know, the adventure package feels a little bit more consistent. You know, basic Sprite combo is just pure gas at the end of the day. But to be honest with you, that's just all everything is set up for. So if you're looking at this right now, basically your whole life plan is to filter through kit. You know, once you level 2 lock yourself, you know, you can end on Bear Broom to get to the Revolt. So you still have that interaction on the opponent's turn. That's your literal go-to game plan, is the fact that you can play the game during your opponent's turn and then capitalize on that advantage tree. All right, so don't underestimate the Tri-Brigade build, because I think that this build is definitely a huge sleeper out here. Just happy to see that we got some level 2 interactions finally out here. Next up is Sprite. Oh my, we're doing this. We're playing a Trickstar package in this particular variant because you can search for Lilybell, and it's just, if it's added to your hand except by drawing it, you can special summon it from your hand. I actually can't believe this. I think we've officially seen pretty much every level 2 package within the game finally seeing play in this deck. Now, other interesting things here. I see that we actually had a Change of Heart show up down here. That's kind of interesting. I didn't really think a lot of people would really consider that. We also had Triple Soul Drain down here as well. Other interesting things about this list that kind of catch me off guard. I guess seeing Daigusto Phoenix finally, so many people have been hyping this up, finally seeing this actually show up and work, I think is kind of nice to see. But everything else feels very basic for the Sprite deck. You know what I mean? Next up, oh my god. All right, was this whole regional just the we're going to test out really weird ideas in our deck? This list wanted to test out Hop Ear Squadron. Is this just so... It's just so we can make Herald of the Arclight during the opponent's turn. Come on, man. Like, this is cheesy at this point, that this is what we're doing here. I also see that we have the Crossout Detonators here with the triple Dark Rollers for board breaking / protection. Only 2 Prosperity. I've been seeing a lot of argument for 2 versus 3 in the pot department. I think either or is fine. I also see down here that we have just 2 Ghost Reapers. Like, we're not even citing like Kitagalis or anything like that. I believe that we're just playing this just straight for the mirror match. Like, if we see this for the mirror match, we just straight break the opponent's board is the way that we're going for. I guess you just round out your matchups even easier with seeing this card. All right, sounds good to me. And then we also have, oh boy, Drytron. Now this isn't as crazy as some of the other variants that I've seen here. I do like the fact that we have gone back to Herald of Perfection, though. I think a lot of players have definitely tossed Herald aside and said, you know what, I'm not going to play with you anymore. There's not really much of a point to that, but I think it's fine at the end of the day. Full ritual combo here. In the overall grand scheme of things, this feels very basic. You know, we're not playing any board breakers in this deck, which feels a little bit off to me. But if you went back in a time capsule here and you said, all right, I'm going to bring my Drytron deck from last format on over here and give it a shot. That would be what you'd be looking at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this is very much a reminiscent memory of former builds. I do think that you do need board breakers in this, though. Like, I think things like this in the main deck should be good. It just looks like this duel has had success sighting them in. And then the big one here is the candy treats themselves. Hey, I bet I know why this deck had the chance to do good. It's almost like Dimension Shifter is a very good card for the candy treats. Okay, standard Madolche lineup in here is fine. Croissant designators to punish the opponents. Dark Row No Mores for the board breakers. And then, of course, yup, super polymerization. Hee hee. Good old Mischief of the Gnomes as well in here. You know, Garuda really did change the way that, like, this game is played now. The fact that you have a more generic super poly target to kind of round things out and punish the opponent. Yeah, it's kind of surreal just how good this card feels at the end of the day here. So, Madolche performing up, locking in 8th place here. This regional was really small for what it was for the online presence, but overall, I think it's still good that you could see something like this creep up and do well. All right, we're going to pass on over to the side deck regional. 100 Duelists batted it out for this regional here, and holy moly, man. We had 5 Sprite decks in the top cut. Wow. You just want to talk about, like, massive meta grind, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we dropped everything. All right. We also had 2 tier elements in top cut. Talk about just shoving in the meta. And then we actually had branded Eldritch here as well in the top cut, which was actually Tintin. This is the first time that I've seen Tintin perform and do well at a regional since Hawaii last year when we went on the Sword Soul Duo grind. But it is actually really nice to see out here, ladies and gentlemen, that out of a 110-man regional, something like branded Eldritch could do good. Actually, Tintin would have been undefeated this regional, but Discord actually ended up crashing on her, causing her to lose the match and still ended up getting 4th place. So at least if Discord had to crash at one point, that was a very good point for it to choose. We're going to pass on over to the top deck list now. Alright, so the first list we're going to be looking at here was Adventure Sprite. Now, 50 card Adventure Sprite shouldn't surprise anybody here. You just kind of pick more of the best cards that you can find and drop them into the deck. That's literally like the whole purpose of extending out the package here. Obviously, like, your Brave package is going to be like your best go-to engine here. You got board breakers present, and then you're just doing the rest of the basic Sprite combo in order to capitalize and win the game. Seems good to me, right, ladies and gentlemen? Nothing too crazy about this Sprite list. Next up here is our Tri-Brigade Sprite. Alright, so this is a little bit different. So we're once again using that Sprite package with our Tri-Brigade package to set up for that Revolt play. Because, I mean, what's your opponent going to do? We're also playing the Lightheart here. Because remember, this is a Link 1 that you can actually access through your Tri-Brigade effects, alright? Put 2 bodies on the field, climb on up, do whatever you need to do. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people really consider playing Lightheart yet. Okay, so this is Tintin's list out of this regional. Now, first thing I do want to point out is, yes, we are playing double Fallen of Albaz, double Golden Lord. We are not playing Mr. Haha Reveal Guy. Now, you're gonna notice a little cheesy tech choice down here. Mr. Shark with other sharks. Now, this is something that I've seen Tintin do before as a joke online for tournaments, but it actually ends up working because you just go Buzzsaw Shark into the right-hand shark because nobody's going to expect this. And then you deploy Crooked Cook here. And then your opponent's like, well, what the heck? Like, what am I supposed to do against Crooked Cook? Because they're not going to bring in Kaijus for this matchup. They have zero reason to have Kaijus in versus the Golden Chicken Nugget himself. So this is a nice little tech choice that you can just steal the game from your opponent because your opponent can't actually out this while, you know, you're sitting on all of the good traps in the world. So what an interesting win con just built into this bad boy here. Next up, more Sprite. Now, continuing on with the different flavors of our favorite Yu-Gi-Oh deck here. You see the fact that we are playing the Sacred Beast stuff in here. Now, I know a lot of people look at the Sacred Beast stuff and they're like, well, you know, I'd rather just play Diva or Nimble Angler. That's fine. You know, your whole purpose of seeing these different varieties is just how much of a difference of opinion you can have here. Now, the other thing I caught here was we are maining One Smasher exciting one. I haven't seen a lot of people really considering upping the number of smashers, but I think that that's fine. Also, you know, shout out here to the Ready Fusion as the ability to start combo. So not too bad for a Sprite list. As we move on here, we have another Sprite list. Oh my god, all these Sprite decks in the world, man. Now, of course, we're still doing the Brave package here. I almost am wondering if the Sprite package is finally starting to surpass a lot more of the more basic stuff. Of course, Sanctum with the Scythe. I see now that the metagame has become a lot more situated, that you're starting to see Scythe show up a lot more. Of course, why would you not be playing Trap Trick, man? The fact that Trap Trick just acts an additional Sanctum within the deck, or, you know, like extra evenly, is so crazy to me. Like, good stuff. And the last deck we have here is Tier Element Branded. Okay. So you see like the full extended package of this, and then of course you get to use this package to basically facilitate the whole fusion combo that you want to do with this. Of course, we're citing the one Galaxy Cyclone down here. No, out of Euros, you saw the main deck to this. And then of course, the amazing deck Devastation Virus to ruin the opponent's day. You really do love to see like the massive power cards out here. So, that is your doubleheader regional breakdown, guys. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.